now, so let's see what happens. He's definitely slowing down. This is a high grade, but it looks like he's pulling off to the right here. So let's see what happens. This is on the northbound side of the 215, just before the merge with the 15 as you make your way up through the Cajon Pass. Still officially in San Bernardino. There's the CHP units, but they backed off substantially, a good quarter of a mile. The airborne, the helicopter, was still following. Okay, let's see what happens here. He's going to be given very strict instructions here. You've seen these felony stops multiple times. Officers giving him direct instructions on how to conduct himself, and he clearly is not doing what he's told. They do not want him making any type of movement inside the car, reaching for anything. They're telling him to have his hands up and walk backwards towards him, and he is not doing that at all. And those officers down below are clearly giving him orders there. Obviously, this is a narrow stretch of the 215, only 2 lanes, and those lanes are being held. This is a very dangerous situation here. So he's walking out, clearly just walking over casually, not doing what he's told at all. And this is the reason why they wanted that canine unit here. Walked over the center divider here, just very casually here. And the officers are holding back a bit. And now he's going to be possibly walking across southbound lanes of the 215 freeway. This is a rare situation. I've not seen that. Standing in the center divider here, traffic is going to open up, and it looks like he's going to have an opportunity, if he wants, to cross over this freeway, the 215 freeway southbound, just south. There he goes, right across the freeway here.
Rick, I don't know if you can hear me. Rick,
from these California Highway Patrol officers.
Rick, is he carrying something?
Moving off to the right shoulder here. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's going to walk southbound. I'm not seeing any units coming southbound yet. And being that he's on this overpass, here comes a unit underneath here. The 215 freeway crossing over, and this is just south of the 15. The 15 up through the Cajon Pass into the high desert communities will push in. Looks like he's in a T-shirt and shorts and just acting very casually and randomly. He's got something in his hand, perhaps. This, some sort of a stick or something. I can't tell at this point, but clearly, I don't know what he's going to do here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's clearly not, he wasn't doing what he was told. We've seen these felony stops so many times. There's officers there on the northbound side of the 215, so it's divided here at this overpass. He's communicating with them, officers down below as well. He casually just pulled over, whether or not he was out of gas or not, on the northbound side of the 215. He reached into the back seat, was not doing what he was told by officers. And now has something in his right hand here. And again, I've lost communications with you, Stephen and Roxy. So you guys can pick this up, and I'll just chime in. But I can't, I cannot hear you guys at this point. But something I have not seen. They are tracking him with a helicopter as well in San Bernardino here on the 215 freeway, walking southbound now. Now,
yeah, Rick, we're watching this with you. We did notice that he is holding something in his hand. We can't identify what it is. Remember, this is an overpass. That's a pretty big, steep jump if he goes off of it. And there was a moment where I thought it looked like he was going to jump. It
did look that way. I don't know if he thought about it. He was analyzing the situation. It's interesting watching the body language, though. Very nonchalant, very casual. It looks casual from here. Very casual. So, as Rick pointed out, the fact that we don't know, did he pull over because he felt as though he should? Was he out of gas? Was he about to run out of gas? We saw him pull over, make his way across the freeway. Now he's at this overpass, and it looks like he's still analyzing. Yeah, Jim Holcomb, what are you seeing here?
Well, when he got out of the car, of course, he reached inside and armed himself with some kind of a weapon there. He's got a long stick or a pole. It looked like almost like a metal pole or some possibly a car antenna or something long in that nature. But this is a good opportunity for less lethal force here, although officers have to realize this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. This is a law enforcement nightmare. He's now on the other side of the freeway. All their assets are on the other side. They can't easily get over there, and they're going to have to get units over there to basically arrest him at this point.
Across the southbound side of the 215 now.
Yeah.
And again, he's staying on the overpass here. You saw that helicopter. That's the law enforcement helicopter. Like so he's deciding to stay on the overpass here. You can see all the CHP units on the northbound side of the 215. And there are some officers staged underneath that overpass as well. And traffic just keeps going. I'm surprised the CHP is not stop traffic on that southbound side. Ran a unit up there, crossed over, and perhaps attempts to hold the southbound side of the 215 freeway here because, again, an erratic suspect here, a stolen vehicle suspect out of Beaumont. This started well over an hour ago in Beaumont, made its way into LA County on the 60 freeway, past the 57, towards the 605, north on the 605. Then he picked up the 10 and took the 10 all the way into San Bernardino, transitioned to the northbound side of the 215 freeway, and then made his way north on the 215 to this point, just below Devore, just south of Devore, where the 215 and 15 freeways meet. He slowed down, he pulled over. Unclear if he just decided to pull over at that point or if his car ran out of gas. He walked across southbound lanes here of this narrow stretch of freeway, only 2 lanes, and then has made his way a little bit to the south on the southbound 215, while all the officers are still positioned on the northbound side. Northbound traffic stopped, southbound is not. You can see it stops for a moment as he decides to walk across the freeway here, holding something in his hand. It almost looks like a large windshield wiper blade, perhaps some sort of walking stick. It does not look like a weapon, that is for sure, at least from our vantage point up here in Skyfox. A lot of traffic coming southbound on the 215, trucker traffic, motorists coming from Devore, the high desert communities. Again, this stretch of the 215 meets up with the 15 through the Cajon Pass and takes people. A tank driving by there, as you can see, and he's just sitting up on the ledge here on this overpass of the southbound side of the 215 freeway here in San Bernardino, the far northern portion of San Bernardino near the border of Devore. CHP units below, underneath that overpass, and also on the northbound side of the 215. Now they are holding traffic. We'll widen out a little bit on this street, and we're going to try to get you a street here. If we pan left just a little bit and look in to that intersection, if we push in, we don't want to lose this. We'll see. We'll see what street that is. But as you can see, he's just deciding to position himself on that overpass. And here's the street right here. It is Palm Avenue. So this is Palm Avenue in San Bernardino. Palm Avenue, east and westbound blocked here. 215 freeway, though, where he's sitting on southbound side, is still open at this time. I'm still waiting to see if a CHP unit. I am seeing one up ahead now. Now there is a cruiser, a CHP cruiser, who appears to be making his way up so he can block traffic to keep things safe. And there's an officer there doing just that. So the suspect, the stolen vehicle suspect, this is a standoff situation now, guys. He's on the overpass here of the 215 freeway southbound in San Bernardino. Palm Avenue down below, it's blocked. Both sides of the 215 north and southbound are now blocked to keep motorists safe, and the waiting game starts.
Jim Holcomb is with us as well. He's sitting, he's waiting. What do you do now?
Well, right now, Rick, again, the priorities have changed. We started out trying to capture him. Now they're going to go into the mode of trying to protect him. I think he's very, very tactically positioned himself on that off-ramp. If he was not there, the officers could simply approach him, give him orders to get down on the ground and use less lethal weapons. At this point right now, they have to consider the fact that he might try to jump over that freeway. Now, he may or may not have that. It may just be a tactic on his part, but that is something they have to deal with. Now they're in the let's protect him mode, and let's get this guy into custody. He likes to stay on the freeway. He knows, I think he pretty much knows that he's got him at bay because of what I just said, and the item in his hand is a weapon, is considered a weapon if he uses it aggressively toward those officers. Although I believe they could get close enough to use less lethal on him. The farther he gets away from the edge of that freeway, the more likely that'll be able to be done.
All right. For those of you who are just joining us, it is the 10 o'clock hour of Fox 11 News. Roxy Carpadian here with Steve Edwards, Rick Dickert up above, giving us this
take a look. You see the canine officer now. You see the canine. You see the dog getting closer. They're talking to him. They're
trying to make communications with this suspect. This started off as a pursuit, a stolen vehicle in Beaumont, made its way all the way here. Now we're on the overpass here on the 215 freeway.
He's pointing, Jim Holcomb.
Yeah, just real quickly here now. If they can get that dog close enough to him, he stays in the center of that freeway, and they release the dog, the dog can get on him quick enough to take him down. Those other officers could then get him before he could get to the edge of the freeway.
But is that a sword in his hand? Right now. Is that a sword?
What is that?
Now it looks like possibly a windshield wiper or something he got out of the car. I don't believe it was. It looks to me like either a windshield wiper or an antenna, something of that, because it looked like he pulled it out, like he stretched it out a little bit when he got out of the car. So right now, very tactically, the officers are getting close enough, talking to him, engaging him in conversation. When they get close enough, they're going to probably release that dog, and that dog will be on him in a couple of seconds. All they have to do is just prevent him from getting to one side or the other. So if he moves over to the side of that freeway, that's going to limit him. But he is in a perfect position right now as they inch just a little bit closer to him. And as you can see, they've got two other officers. Looks like one of them with a beanbag shotgun down to the right, which would be less lethal force. And, of course, they have another officer there. So they've got enough people there to take him down if they can just get him before he can move over to one side or the other.
So we were watching his body language as he pulled over and got out of the car and made his way onto the overpass here on the 215. Even took a seat for a while, tried to kind of figure out the scene, figure out what to do next. Very casual, very nonchalant. Although watching him now, it seems as though his body language is changing a bit with the way he's communicating with the officers and whatever he's holding, whether it's a windshield wiper or a stick or a sword, what have you. It seems like he's waving it, getting a little bit more intense and aggressive.
What we call this is negotiation, Roxia. We're talking to him, he's talking to them. It's almost like a car salesman. As long as he's talking to you and you're talking to him, that's a good thing, no matter what he's saying. The canine officer, you can see him kneel down right down there with his dog. So he's got a little release clip on that dog's collar, and he's just assessing and judging how fast can his dog, because he knows his dog, how fast can his dog get to that individual before he can get to one side or the other of that freeway overpass. And that's what's going on right now, is when is he going to release that dog?
Right. So how does this work? How long do you negotiate?
That's an open subject. As long as this guy is talking, if he's getting a little bit more compliant, if you're making some kind of headway with him, it just all depends on what the negotiations are. But somewhere down in there, the decision is going to be made that this guy is not going to be able to get talked down, and that dog will probably get released.
We're looking at the distance. I can't figure out, because from our view it may not be completely accurate, but that dog can cover that ground really quickly.
Yeah, if you figure the lane, the stripe between the lanes is about 13 to 15 feet, I'd say he's maybe about 25 feet. I think that dog could definitely make contact with him before he could get to the one side of the freeway or the other. So at this point, they're trying to give this guy the opportunity. They're trying to talk to him. They want him to comply. All he needs to do, quite frankly, is just throw down that item he has in his hand and get down on the ground or do what they tell him to do, and it's over peacefully. I don't think we've had any accidents in this. This would be a peaceful conclusion. But their main concern right now is his safety. And once again, they've now switched over from the predator mode, going after him, to the protection mode, where they're worried about this guy's safety right now.
Jim, stand by. We're going to check in with Gigi. She's actually on the ground there. Gigi, how far are you away from what's actually happening in front of us?
We are just about 50 yards away. I can clearly see the suspect standing in the middle of the freeway. He is holding something in his hands. Police officers earlier thought it was a crowbar. Now, this is a very tense situation because the freeway, the traffic is stopped on the southbound side, but he is just feet away from people that are on the 215 north, and traffic is at a standstill. The freeway is packed. There's several trucks, a FedEx truck, and just a lot of people in their cars just feet from him. Now, we are seeing also police have the canine. They're still hoping this is going to come to a peaceful end, but I can tell you a very tense moment here on the 215 freeway as this stolen car suspect stands in the middle of the freeway. You can see him walking around now, this pursuit lasting over 2 hours and coming to an end here. We don't know if the suspect ran out of gas. He appears to be signaling with his hands. He may be saying something. We can't hear what he's saying from here, but he continues to stand and to make quick movements, and that, of course, is never good. That's something a police officer doesn't want to see. It's something we don't want to see. We hope that he keeps his hands where everybody can see them and, of course, give up. He is surrounded by police officers at this moment. As a matter of fact, we're seeing a highway patrol SUV, the white SUV, that's going to come into the picture, and it looks like police are about to make a move there. That white SUV going against traffic on the 215 South, just pulling up there behind the suspect, but he has still not given up, even though he is surrounded by police officers. And again, the biggest concern here is all the folks stuck on the 215 North that are just stuck there and sitting in their cars, unable to move.
Gigi, let's talk about the people that are stuck there, because from what I can see, it looks like people have come out of their cars and they're standing behind the suspect watching all of this transpire, which cannot be a safe thing to do. Gigi?
I'm sorry, we had a little audio difficulty there. We've got police officers standing there. Of course, that's something that you don't want to see. That just adds another level of security problems for police officers trying to deal with a suspect. You can see a police officer crouched down in front of him, another one walking up behind him. They do have him surrounded. They must believe now that he does not have a weapon in his hands because they are very close to him. He's got something in his hands, though, I'm being told. But I'm unable to see what it is from here. We're trying to get a clearer look. He still has something, but I don't believe it's a weapon because he is surrounded by police officers now. They're very close to him, and you can see them now almost making a circle around him, weapons drawn, and hoping, and you've got on the, what you can't see right now as we remain on this shot is the highway patrol officers on the opposite side of the freeway.
No.
Okay, we're moving our camera to give you a better shot.
All right, yeah, we'll take it here because we probably can see better than you.
As I was saying, what you can't see on the opposite side of the freeway is highway patrol officers trying to control the traffic and trying to keep people in their cars and not allowing them to get out, because that's just going to make a dangerous situation even more dangerous.
Gigi, I don't know if you can see what's going on specifically.
He's over the railing.
He's over the railing, threatening to jump. He's controlling. He's controlling.
He appears to be sitting
Go ahead.
on the center divider, and I've lost audio connection with you. I believe you can still hear me. I have lost audio with you, but you can see him there just, behaving erratically. This guy's been doing 100 miles per hour. Swerving, and they've got him, and they're taking him down right now. You see him surrounded there by CHP officers, and he continues to struggle. He's putting up quite a fight with officers. One of the officers knocked to the ground there, but it looks like they do have him down. They do have him down, and it appears that he should be in handcuffs now any moment, but they do have him down as he continues to struggle with police, even though he is clearly outnumbered.
Wow.
All right,
that was a dramatic
there's the end of that.
ending.
We don't know if he was going to jump. He certainly was threatening. It looked like it at that moment.
You don't take any chances at that point.
But they got him before he could. They snuck up behind him. And as you look at this, there's a lot of drama here, but also look at it from another perspective. All the resources put into this effort right now. Jim Holcomb, you there? Hello, Jim Holcomb.
Yeah, I've got you, Steve. Go.
I'm talking about all the resources that are tied up for this moment.
Right, and once again, law enforcement's role changes throughout this thing. They have a lot of resources that were committed to this thing, and at the end of it, you saw a very, very textbook operation. Other than the fact that he went over like I suspected he would and got on that ledge, they were able to get his attention in one direction while one officer got him from behind, and then they did a team takedown with about 6 officers there, and were able to take him down pretty successfully without hurting him in any way. And that's the object at the end of the game, is to get the guy in custody with the least amount of force that you can possibly use. This was very textbook, and I got to take my hat off to everybody. They certainly took their time with him. They didn't rush him. They let him talk, and he basically controlled the outcome of what happened, and it was a very, very well textbook operation.
All right, Jim Holcomb, thank you. Rick, thank you. Gigi. What we'll do now is, as this has come to a conclusion, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to move out.
We're going to have Lisa Breckenridge and Maria Sansone join you for the rest of your 10 o'clock newscast. We'll be right back.
Good morning. It's 10:13. Maria Sansone joining you with Lisa Breckenridge. We have been following this as you have, and it looks like it has come to somewhat of a peaceful ending.
Crazy chase that started at 8:45 this morning in Morango Valley. That's just west of Joshua Tree National Park in Riverside County. It came in as a stolen vehicle. This pursuit was back and forth on the freeway, speeds of 100 miles an hour. The driver, the suspect, throwing things out the window the entire time, cigarettes, bags, you name it. Finally coming to a stop here on this freeway overpass at Palm Avenue on the northbound 215. At one point, we thought he was going to jump. He kind of was standing in the middle of the freeway there on the overpass for some time in this little bit of a 10-15 minute standoff with the authorities.
It's when the car stopped that things got strange. We see pursuits all of the time. Usually the suspect gets out of the car and complies when they know that they have nowhere to go. That was not the case with this suspect.
We have some video now of when this pursuit was just ending and how it all came to an end. There you see the suspect sitting on the ledge, obviously threatening to jump. When that officer went up, pulled him down, he did not go down without a fight. You can see him kicking, shoving, kicking that one officer down below. They had to get him out of there to safety, and it took, what, 8 or 10 guys, 8 guys there. Yeah. They had a dog on the standby. They had beanbag rifles if needed, whatever it was going to take. And again, we don't know what he had in his hand for a good deal of it.
A windshield wiper blade,
but at the beginning,
it appeared to be a sword. We weren't sure. Yeah, so he went kicking and screaming, and as you can see, it took so many officers to get him down. And when he got out of his vehicle, it was that scary moment where he was acting very peculiar. He was walking in a manner that was so nonchalant. It looked like he was going to walk in front of moving traffic at that point.
It did. Okay, so again, this is the end of a chase on the 215 freeway overpass by Palm Avenue. You can see an up-close shot right here. This is a look at the man who has basically been taking authorities on this crazy high-speed pursuit. I believe we have Gigi Graciette there on the ground. Gigi, can you talk to us?
I was supposed to change everything.
Okay, we are standing on the freeway just a few feet away from the suspect. His leg is bloodied. Both legs are actually bloodied. We don't know how he was injured. You can see the blood there. He's got a sock soaked in blood. His knee is still wrapped up by the CHP officers. He is rambling on about work and why he wanted to work, and let's see, he's talking a lot here, so can't get a job.
I can't afford shelter. Downtown let me down. Skid Row let me down. Society let me down. I came out of prison and I did everything I could. Nobody will give me a job.
What's your name, sir?
Nobody give me a job.
Yeah, looks like it.
Why did you run? Why lead police on a pursuit?
I was sleeping in my car.
All right, don't know if you can hear me there.
Go ahead.
Move it over here to the shoulder, to the center divider.
Okay. All right, we're talking to CHP officers right now. They're trying to get an ambulance in. Actually, an ambulance fire department responding right now here with paramedics. I don't know if you could hear or make out anything. The suspect in this case was saying, he was rambling on about the fact that he was sleeping in his car. He could not get a job, how Skid Row let him down, how the shelters let him down. Things were supposed to change for him, he said, but they didn't. He did not answer when I asked him why he led police on this pursuit. Again, a stolen car suspect coming to an end here after the suspect led police on a 2-hour pursuit, ending here in the San Bernardino area. We're on the 215 South. The car was actually left, I believe, on the 215 North, and I have lost my audio connection with you. I hope you can still hear me, though. The car left on the other side. He crossed over the freeway. There was a lot of concern this guy was going to jump off the bridge here, jump off the freeway. He appeared to have something in his hand. We still haven't identified what that something is, but police officers surrounding him when they were able to determine that that was not indeed a weapon. There it is, what he had in his hand. Right there. Do you see that? It looks to me like a broken windshield wiper, that black piece of metal lying on the ground here just a few feet from the suspect. And